So good afternoon, just two things, and just before you begin, Ms. Ega, when there's time is wrapping up, she's gonna give you like a loud, hey, and then also someone needs to hit the clicker with the thing's not working.
Welcome to our 9th grade defense. During this project, each one of us mastered one of the 4 ESLERs. ESLER stands for Expected School-Wide Learning Results, which we mastered one of them. The 4 ESLERs are critical thinking, innovative thinking, production process, and civic engagement. My name is Adrian Torres, and I'll be presenting the ESLER, critical thinking through the research article.
My name is Sebastian Pablo, and I'm presenting the ESLER Innovative Thinking through my team's ROV project.
My name is Alexis Mendoza, and I'll be presenting the ESLER Civic Engagement for the Future Student Museum and my showcase.
Hello, my name is Kenneth Vang, and I will be presenting the ESLER production process through my artifact animation.
Hello, my name is Nice Lawrence, and I will be presenting the production process through documentaries.
Hello, my name is Kevin, and I will be presenting innovative thinking, ESLER innovative thinking through my artifacts.
Who is the Museum of Contemporary Art, or MOCA? The Museum of Contemporary Art is a local museum founded in 1941. Their role is to inspire others to be creative, innovative, and think outside the box, and try to strive above normal and trying to strive above just fitting in. The museum is trying to reach out to everybody in its community to try to get everybody to get involved with their community as well as contribute to it. The museum provides a place for well-known artists to distribute their art and a place for new artists to emerge and start out. Their mission statement is displayed on the board, but in my own words, the mission statement is to be there for everybody, for a diverse audience can have access to a museum and view contemporary art as well as be exposed to it.
Purpose of the project. The purpose of the project was to show us how technology has influenced our identities, how opened our eyes to see how much we rely on it, and made us think in a more innovative and efficient thinking style. I will get to the positive ways technology will impact our lives, but at first I will start with negative ways. Students this generation has earned a title such as the Google generation. Basically, the Google generation is when the students rely on technology instead of using their common sense. It connects to our client by giving us a real-life feel of working under a client and giving us a thought of an innovative product.
The production process overview. Say you start your own business. Before going into market, there are steps you have to take in order for it to be successful. This includes making a business plan. You have to find the location where you want it, make sure it's legal and safe, as well as dealing with finance. The steps in building are nearly finished. You still have to find the correct building layout. Based on your type of business, you also have to make prices for your food, products, or clothing. After you have finished all your planning, and you're ready for the opening, it's time to begin. You open up the doors and there's already a group of people outside. Your heart is pounding. You're hoping they will enjoy it and you'll beat the company opposite of you. You notice all the people piling in, admiring the inside. That day, you analyze everything. All the people who came in, as well as all the money you had made. So you as well as all the people who had came in. You notice some things were out of place, so you fix it before the store opens up again. You continue this process day by day, and it's become a huge success. As you can see, the production process isn't only used through media. It can be used for everyday life because there's always steps you have to take before finishing a big project or something really small. The production process starts with pre-production. Pre-production is where all the planning takes place before starting the journey into the production process. This planning sets the overall vision of your project. It's where you storyboard, work out camera angles, find a setting or location. For our documentaries, the pre-production process phase was where we first conducted research. Our research was based off of personal use robots we use today, such as the autonomous room vacuum cleaner, as well as prosthetic limbs. After we conducted research, we then made a voiceover script. Our voiceover script was based on our technology chosen and is also the narration of our documentaries. Then we searched for internet images and video clips to put in our documentaries. After the pre-production phase, we went to the production stage. This is where you actually start recording, where you capture all your scenes and information that you had made in the pre-production phase. For our documentaries, we recorded our voiceover. Then we edited and put the images and video clips into our timeline in Final Cut Pro, the editing software that we use. After production stage, we continue to post-production. Post-production happens when all your footage has been captured. It's where you edit and make sure all your music is lined up, as well as your text and all your transitions. The post-production stage is also like a final drafting writing, where you reread all your sentences and fix your grammar or spelling. For our documentaries, the post-production stage was where we rewatched all our documentaries and made sure everything looked and made sense, as our narration being understandable or our pictures fitting in with what we were saying. The production process after we finished that, we then put all our documentaries into one and exported it into iMovie, and then uploaded it into YouTube to use during our Locust showcase. The production process made our documentaries more effective and effortless. This is my pre-production stage where I conducted my research on my personal use robot, which was the Roomba vacuum. And right here is the production stage where I was interviewing my mom about technology today. I asked her questions on how she feels about technology today, as well as questions how it had changed since she was little. Post-production, this is where we put all our videos and images and our documentaries all together in one on Final Cut.
The production process. The production process is used in everyday life. It contains 3 major steps in order to complete the project. The production process consists the 3 steps such as pre-production process, production process, and post-production process. I will be showing how I use production process in my animation. First, the pre-production process is basically the ideas and the ROV made in science class, and in this case, the storyboard, which means the visual representation of the product using drawings or written words. Production process stage is when we use the application on the Mac computer, Adobe Flash CS6. This application helped us make this animation, and being taught from Miss Rice on how to make the animation and how it makes moves and everything. Post-production process is where we get the feedback and the revision once we're done, and we can fix it up. In this picture of the submarine or boat and the ROV picking up a camera or a sensor, it was my final product.
So, what is critical thinking? Critical thinking is the thinking process of gathering different information about an issue and coming up with a solution or an opinion about it. In this project, an example of critical thinking I did was during the research articles. When creating the research articles, not only did I use critical thinking, I also used the production process. So developing a research question was a pre-production of my research article. I had to come up with a question that I wanted to use as a layout to the rest of my article. So the first question I chose is, how has robotics helped veterinarians in creating the prosthetic limbs for injured animals? This was a topic that interested me a lot, and I wanted to research more about it. But soon I came to find out that after conducting research, I didn't gather much data to create a solid research article. So I edited my questions around 2 times until I came up with the final one. How has robotics helped surgeons in the advancement of the medical field? This was one question that had a lot of information in the databases, which allowed me to create a more solid and in-depth article. After going on the databases, I found my research material. In this article, I annotated all the key information and data that I wanted included to my magazine. So I annotated what I wanted and what I would include. So in the first one, it said, when I was annotating, I asked myself, when were the surgical systems first came to use? So I looked through the article and found the times where the surgical systems were used. Then I asked myself, what were some of the features of the surgical system and how did the surgeons use them? So I annotated that as well to include it in my final product. So I continued on to the production phase. In the production, I began writing a rough draft. In the rough draft, I included all the information I annotated from the articles into 3 solid paragraphs. And each of those paragraphs, I had to use innovative thinking as well to create a subheading to catch my reader's attention. In this paragraph, the title was Surgeon's New Set of Hands. This is where I introduced the surgical system and talked about their functions. Continuing, I began to sketch out my magazine layout and the way I wanted to present my final product. This is where I started laying out where I was going to put all the paragraphs, the exploded quotes, the images, and all what I wanted to include. So this is a sketch of what I originally thought. But after printing out all the information, I began to realize that some of this had to be changed due to not enough information and the time management. So I just changed it up a little bit to my final product, which was the final magazine article. This was at the ending of the production phase, where I created this article in Pages, and the post-production was displaying it in the Museum of Contemporary Arts in downtown. So this was my final product. The title was Doctor, Doctor, There's a Robot in the Room. So I had to create a pretty interesting title to be able to catch my reader's attention. So I chose that as my title, and the subheadings were Nanopain for the first paragraph, Surgeon's New Set of Hands, and our Robotics Friends service, or our Robotics Friends prize.
What is innovative thinking? Innovative thinking is thinking that introduces something new or different. In my own words, it enables you to enables you to bring something new to the table that others haven't. What is an ROV? ROV stands for Remotely Operated Vehicle. This vehicle allows humans to complete tasks that was difficult or hard for them to complete before. Since it is remotely operated, we can send this vehicle into space, far into space, or deep into the ocean to collect samples or find new living organisms. How could these two work together? Building an ROV for this underwater competition was a fun experience, even though there was restrictions such as size limits and how we could complete tasks. Through innovation, we were able to maneuver through these restrictions. An example would be how we were able to stay under size limit, but still have all the tools we needed to complete these tasks. How was my team innovative? An example of how my team was innovative was the way we completed the task of capturing 3 ping pong balls from under a sheet of ice. We cut a 2-foot tall piece of PVC pipe and attached a dish soap holder to one end and attached the other end to our frame. This allowed us to maneuver our ROV underneath the sheet of ice and capture all the ping pong balls we needed. Did my team take any risks? The biggest risk my team took was building the ROV with no arms. While most teams had 3 or more tools to help them complete tasks, my team had 2, the frame and the 2-foot tall PVC pipe with the dish soap holder. This was a big risk because my team didn't have a lot of testing time as much as the other teams, but trusting each other with this idea, we went through with it. Even though we never tested it, we were still able to complete all tasks except one, the measuring of an iceberg. In these ways, we were able to incorporate innovative thinking into our projects.
What is innovative thinking? Innovative thinking is thinking beyond what is possible and using that idea as a stepping stone or to use to be as a plan to make into reality. What is possible? What is possible? Like how men think, like how men thought how it was really crazy. I'm so sorry. What is innovative thinking? Innovative thinking means to think beyond what is possible and using that idea as a stepping stone or plan to use to make something reality. One example is how man thought it was impossible for us humans to walk on the moon. But now it's possible because of innovative thinking. Why is innovative? So, what was the purpose of our artifacts that we did? Well, the purpose was to show how technology affected our identities. Did technology influence us in a bad way, a good way? Did technology influence us at all? Well, this is what I had to think for my pre-production. What did I have to do for what was my process of the artifacts? Well, the pre-production started by thinking, like how I just demonstrated, about if technology influencing you bad or good. Then another example or another pre-production is getting ideas, being inspired by the art by the 2 artists, Jack Whitten and James Drake. So how was I innovative? I was innovative because I chose to do something different instead of doing, well, for one of my pieces, instead of doing regular art, I made a storyline, a little story on how people thought technology, how alive technology thought how humans, sorry, excuse me.
Just keep going. Yep.
How was I innovative? I started I was innovative because I started my first art piece with a storyline that proves why technology could be good sometimes, and why everybody thinks, not everybody, but some people think technology is bad. For every bad, there's good, and I chose to do most of my art pieces as why technology is good. So this is why I think I'm innovative. Did I take any risk? Sadly, no. But if I was able to go back in time and taking a risk or two, I would have done all of my art pieces with a long storyline, like the first one, or the last art, or to do a pop-out book, a 3D pop-out book, but it was too hard, not hard, it's like complicated, complex.
What is civic engagement? Civic engagement refers to the ways that citizens participate in their community in order to improve conditions for others or to shape the community's future. In my own words, civic engagement is doing something positive for your community in order to shape its future for the better. An example of civic engagement is seeing that your community looks really dirty and full of trash, so you organize a community cleanup in order to make your community look better and nice again. We interacted with our client at the field trip to the Museum of Contemporary Arts in both downtown and in La Jolla. Our first field trip was to the Museum of Contemporary Arts in downtown, where we observed the James Drake exhibit. His exhibit was called Brain Trash. There we observed the drawings that he committed himself to drawing every day. Some of his drawings just took one day, while others took several days. This resulted in a total of 1,242 paintings. His drawings included wild animals, self-portraits, and scientific formulas. He used many different materials such as ink, pencil, and charcoal. While we were there, our tour guide told us to really think about what the painting means to us and why we think he made it. Since much of his work was abstract, she told us to try to figure out what it was in the painting and what the message behind it was. Our second field trip was to the Museum of Contemporary Arts in downtown, where we observed Jack Whitten's exhibition. His exhibition was called 5 Decades of Paintings. The first painting we saw that he made was Apps for Obama, which our teacher, Ms. Clay, displayed for us in class and asked us what we saw. Many of us saw an iPad's home screen, as many of you guys may also see. This just comes to show us how addicted we are to technology and how we see it everywhere around us. Other things we saw at the museum was his abstract work that he made, creating unique tools such as rakes, brooms, or even wheels. We learned that he used different techniques such as wet on wet and dry on dry. Wet on wet is manipulating the painting while the paint is still wet, and dry on dry is using mixed media in order to create a piece of art. Seeing these artists' work just showed us that you can really be innovative and express yourself through art or anything that you really love doing. We also interacted with our client at our showcase in downtown. There we displayed the projects that we've been working on throughout the year. Some of the projects that we've been working on are animations, ROVs, art, articles, and documentaries. Working with this community partner has impacted me because it has shown me to open my mind to new ideas and to really think innovatively and creatively. It has also given me an experience that not many people get to have,